Yeah, you already know what it is, man. It's that Detroit player, Big Sean, all the way to the UK, man. You checking out my interview right here on Amaru TV, boy. I do it. High school. I was on my way to Michigan State. I had I graduated high school with a 3.7, so I was like had honors. I was ready to go to college, ready to live that fun college life, get wasted, have all the pretty girls in my dorm, you know what I'm saying? And I gave it all up just for the possibility of maybe signing to him. But I followed my heart, man, and it all worked out.
Now that being said, you and Mike Posner go back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did he used to make beats for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my first mixtape, Mike Posner, he produced a song called "Smoke and Drive" on there, and me and him been friends way before we blew up. So it's so tight to just be homies and like be in the positions me and him are both in. And that's my good friend, man, my good friend. And, I love him and stuff, so it's definitely the homie. It's crazy, man. We used to just be in his mom's basement working on music, me and him. Crazy.
Yeah, and he always speaks highly of you all the time. He's always speaking highly.
He's a genius, man. He's it. Mike Posner is definitely just really good. Yeah.
So now let's talk about the album. Now, roughly, how long did it take for you to actually create the album from start to finish?
Well, it changed so many times. I put out mixtapes. I would always have like my album, and then I'd be like, no, I'm gonna just use this as a mixtape, and it kept building my buzz. Every time I would put a mixtape out, I would get more and more recognition. So it was kind of like, even though I didn't go to college, I still went to college because I would put a mixtape out like once a year, and it would be like my final exam. While my friends were in school doing their finals, I was like rapping in my mixtape. But anyway, so Finally Famous, the album was like me graduating, and it took about a year's time to make that project. And No ID, Kanye, Pharrell, a lot of people really helped out. So they helped me make that transition from like just a mixtape artist to really being like making a good album, because for mixtapes you ain't got to worry about having hit records. You don't have to worry about, you can have 40 bar verses if you want. For an album, it has to be a little more structured because they got to put all the millions behind it. They got to put money on it. And so it was definitely like, for songs like My Last, like when No ID gave me that beat, I didn't even want to do it. I was like, man, it sounds so soft. I'm not about to do this whack-ass, soft-ass beat. And he's like, man, you want to be a mixtape rapper forever? Or you want to make songs people could live to, man, that people could have fun to, play at barbecues and pool parties on the radio, and that your label would be happy about. And I was like, man, you're right. So I went home and I wrote that song from front to back. And it originally was all me singing on it. It was, I wrote the bridges and choruses and stuff, and wasn't too sure about the song. So I was in the studio with Chris Brown one day, and we were working on a whole bunch of other stuff, and I was playing him so many songs, and he was liking them all. And then I was like, oh yeah, and then I got this other one too. It was like, I almost didn't play it, but I played it, and he went so crazy over it. He was like, oh my God, this shit is a smash. Oh shit. And then he hopped on it, and that's how that came about. And then as soon as Def Jam heard he hopped on it, it was out of there. And that was the first single over there. So the first one over here, I think, is going to be Marvin and Chardonnay.
Okay.
With me, Kanye, and Roscoe Dash.
Now, in this time of you being an artist, what have you learned about the business? What's the most critical thing you've learned about being a signed artist as opposed to just a mixtape artist or an aspiring rapper?
Man, you just got to stay true. You got to go hard, man. You got to work, Just be the best. Set yourself apart always. And, it's definitely, like I always say, it's definitely a transition, man. But, it's fun. And I was really mad about, one thing that really made me mad about this album was there was certain songs I really wanted on there and couldn't put on there because of the sample clearances mixed with the deadlines. It's like I didn't have enough time to clear the samples and couldn't put the songs on there. And shit really made me mad. I didn't want to come out with my album. I was so pissed off. But I realized to see the perfection and imperfection and realize that, you know, that just means my next one is gonna be so much more better. I can't wait to take everything I learned from the first one and put it towards the second one, you know. So it was all a learning process. So it was definitely a learning process. And, you know, I learned that you have to really plan stuff out way in advance. You have to always progress and always stay true to your heart, man. Like, you know, it never lies to you, so you should never lie, period.
For those songs that haven't been cleared, would you put them on the next album, or would you just throw them out there for me?
It depends. You know, by the time I get to the next album, by the time it's about to come out, I may be on some whole other stuff, and then, you know. So we just gotta wait and see. I don't know. I have a fun time though, man. Like, I have a great time doing what I let it do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't do what they let it do for a living. And for my parents to be proud of me, my family, be able to support them. You know, last time I went home to Detroit, they gave me the key to the city, like a big presentation. So it's like, you know, this is all I dreamed about, man. It's like everything I ever asked for. So I'll sit and be tired as I ever been ever in life, ever. And I'll never complain about ever having to do anything, because I used to want this stuff so bad. I used to want to be able to be so busy that I was exhausted, you know. So I complain about being exhausted, but I won't complain about doing what I'm doing. And I'm like truly happy to be here, like, for real.
Finally famous, money. Yeah, good music. Hey, got goals, got dreams. I'm infatuated with nice things. I love money, might seem.